Boom, 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 bam. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Great Debate Show. I'm your host, Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. I'm back in the dungeon. Back and better than ever, baby. Up in this biatch. And this is the Great Debate Show. The Great Debate Show is available on all social media platforms. Follow the Great Debate Show on YouTube, on all social media platforms, but make sure you subscribe to the Great Debate Show on YouTube and hit that notification bell because you never know when your favorite unk might pop back up. Okay, let's get this thing started. This won't take long at all. I'm just here to recap Championship Sunday in the NFL. We had Patriots at Broncos earlier today. We had Rams at Seahawks just finished a minute ago, and want to give congratulations to the New England Patriots and to the Seattle Seahawks. We are getting a rematch, and as soon as the Patriots won, we knew we were getting a rematch regardless. We've never seen Broncos and Rams, but we have seen Broncos and Seahawks. But when the Broncos were eliminated, we knew we were going to get a rematch regardless after New England advanced to Super Bowl 60, regardless of who won the NFC Championship. As I told you all before Championship Sunday started, I didn't know who was going to win. And I think that that's what we all should have said, because who knew? This game was good. This game came down to the wire. There were some moments where the Rams probably could have gotten blown out. As I told you, that very well could happen. But I also told you the Rams, they could also beat the Seahawks. So I didn't know who was going to win, and I just came out and just said it. I don't know. And but now we know. The Seattle Seahawks are going to Super Bowl 60, and the New England Patriots are going to Super Bowl 60 to represent the AFC. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 49. And what a coincidence that this rematch from Super Bowl 49 will be played in the 49ers stadium, in Levi Stadium. Okay. I apologized to Sam Darnold way back in like week 5, week 6. So there's no more apologies needed from me. But I think we all, for anyone who didn't want to do it or continue to just, we still hear the scam Darnold, chants and all of that. But I think it's time to put all of that to bed now. Put it to rest. Sam Darnold was in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of his career, and he got there with an oblique injury, which they said was much better this week than last week. He played pretty much flawless. Did he get sacked a few times? Yeah. The Rams needed to do it a few more times than that, though, if they wanted to advance, and they were not able to get it done. So let's put it to bed with Sam Darnold. He did his job. He's got more wins than any other quarterback in the past 2 seasons with 2 different teams. And this time, he did not fold. He did not nut up. He did not see ghosts. He got his team into the Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks. And Jackson Smith and Jigba is that damn good. And the Rams couldn't do anything about him. The Rams could not get out the field on 3rd down, the defense, and that was really the deciding factor to that game. I told you all the NFC game would be better. I told you all that we would have an NFC West, NFC Championship game, and that's exactly what we had. Now, did I hope for my team to be in it? Of course, but it is what it is. King Mikey, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? He says, good evening, Unc. Shane said, what up, Unc? And Art Terrell, where you been, Art? He said, go Patriots. I'm sure my boy Jofi Joe will be coming in here too, my M-Town brother. He's a Patriot fan as well. Congratulations to your Patriots. I was hoping for Patriots Rams, but I'm going to settle for the Patriots and Seahawks because the Seahawks, they have definitely been turning it up on the offense lately. I didn't know how good the offense really would look this week, even though the Rams defense, we said, has not been as good as it was the first half of the season. But the way they look today against a better defense, even though the Rams haven't been that good, they're better than the 49ers defense, the Seahawks can do exactly what the Rams probably could have did against the Patriots too. Now, here's the thing. Seahawks fans want their rematch. They got it. They want their revenge against the Patriots. They got it. It's the first time that they've saw each other since Super Bowl 49. That's 11 seasons past. But here we go. They've got their chance to redeem themselves and, get some closure, get some revenge on a game that we all know Seattle shouldn't have lost in the first place had they just handed that ball off to beast mode. But as I tell you all, I don't think this stuff is real. And I think that if Pete Carroll had a call to run play and they scored that touchdown, he would have been missing. And we would have never ever seen or heard from him again. And that was back in 2014. That's just my opinion now. But again, Seahawks didn't win that Super Bowl, even though they should have. They've got their chance to redeem themselves. This is a whole different team, a whole different regime. Everything has changed, but they're back. And it would be great for me to talk more shit about my head coach of the 49ers, Kyle No Style Scamahan, if Mike McDonald gets a Super Bowl in just his second year of being a head coach, period. And with the Seattle Seahawks. And Kyle Shanahan has had 9 years in it, and he's lost 2 Super Bowls and have not gotten one yet. I would love to be able to do that. Not to hate on him, just to call the facts. It is what it is. I know a lot of Niner fans say, I want you to just pick another team. I want you just to... I'm brutally honest, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You don't have to like it, but you'll learn to love it. And if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to subscribe or follow or watch or listen to The Great Debate Show. The Great Debate Show is available wherever you get your podcasts on all social media platforms. Follow and hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's give a quick recap on Championship Sunday and talk about what happened and why. Art says Shanahan needs to go. Agreed. Finally, somebody that does, but you're not a 49er fan, though, are you, Art? I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw you. Most Niner fans don't agree with me when I say that. King Mikey says, I'm doing all right. We've been out of power for the last 3 hours. I hate that. I know a lot of people are going through it right now, all the way from Texas, all the way up to the Northeast. I don't know exactly where you at, Mikey, but probably the Northeast. You're a Philly fan. And hell, I'm in Memphis, and it's a frigid 16 degrees right now, and I'm still snowed in too. Thankfully, I got power. Of course, that's how I'm able to do this. But I understand, and I think a lot of people that follow me may be without power because TikTok has been dead all day. I was live this morning talking about Saturday night's main event, and I literally had like 2 people, and I've only got 1 person right now. I want to thank Ryder Uso. I want to thank Ryder Uso for joining me on TikTok. It's been dead. I don't know what's going on. But let's go ahead and do a recap of what happened. Oh, Art says, I am forever faithful. Okay, my fault, man. My apologies. I didn't remember. So, finally, a 49er fan that calls it how he sees it. Okay, so let's get this thing cracking. Let's start with the game that we just finished watching, shall we? Rams and Seahawks. This is a great game. The NFC always does it best. I told you all that. And I'm not just being biased, at least not totally. But the NFC games are just better. And I know the AFC game had a lot of inclement weather and the snow got really rough in the first half. If you like defense, it was a good game on the AFC Championship game. But the Broncos didn't have their starting QB. The Patriots did not do anything offensively, if you want to be real, besides 1 trick play. The only touchdown they got offensively came off of a turnover that they probably shouldn't have got because it looked like that was just intentional grounding, and then they turned it around and said, no, it's a turnover, Patriots ball. That was really the deciding factor of the game. Patriots win 10-7. Broncos didn't have their quarterback. I said I was going to start with the NFC Championship game, but it was not really a lot to talk about on the AFC Championship game. That's what happened. That's how it ended. The end. But congratulations to the Patriots. They're in the Super Bowl. They have had a great year. Drake May has had a great regular season. He has not looked as good against the Chargers, Texans, and Broncos in the AFC playoffs, although in his defense, those are 3 solid defenses, and some of them great, like the Texans and the Broncos. But last week, the Texans' offense just wasn't enough to help their defense out. And this week, the Broncos' offense wasn't enough to help their defense out either. And most of that was because they didn't have a quarterback. All right, that's pretty much it. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Mike Vrabel. If he wasn't getting Coach of the Year, he's probably going to get it now. Okay, the NFC Championship game, though, ladies and gentlemen, We've talked about this for a while now on how some of these head coaches can sometimes be a little bit too aggressive. We talked about Ben Johnson last week being a little over aggressive. And now I think it's time for us to talk about really Clint Kubiak and Sean McVay with the play calling, even though it didn't bite Clint Kubiak in Seattle in the ass on that last drive where they continued to want to throw the ball. But, man, Sean McVay, they had a 90-yard drive that came up short. Hold on, was that the one where they got the touchdown? Or no, that's the one where they came up short. From the 10-yard line, they drive all the way down to the red zone, and they get into the first and goal, second and goal. No, they didn't quite get to the first and goal. But it was a 4th and 4 play, 4th and 4, where they could have easily just took the points and made it 31-30. Now, it was still like 3.5 minutes left, or was it 4.5 minutes left? Somewhere around 3.5, 4 minutes left in the game. I know their defense had not done well in getting out the field on 3rd and long, but they did just get a good stop the previous possession that the Seahawks had, and the Rams were probably going to get the ball back because at that time they had their timeouts. And they go for it on 4th and 4 in the red zone. I think they were somewhere around the 10, but they didn't get it. It looked like they were bringing mad pressure, and they came out of that, and they really just dropped like 8-9 in coverage, and there was nowhere for Stafford to go with the football. Now, I know you can't really see that or determine that all the times pre-snap. And when McVay called the play, he called the play. He was going for it. I like aggressiveness. I wish my head coach, Kyle Shanahan, was more aggressive at times. But you can't really go for that. This is where analytics gets a big fuck you in the ass, in my opinion. Some things you just got to say, screw the analytics, man, and just take the points. Because if you do take the points, it's 31-30. Now, I don't know if they get a stop or not because they did not seem to get one. But maybe, the play calling would be a lot different from Clint Kubiak and the Seahawks offense if they know we've only got a 1-point lead. But we don't have to get a touchdown, but we need to get a field goal. Maybe they won't be as aggressive as they were. They were just trying to end the game because they saw that they were out of timeouts, or they were damn near out of timeouts, and they just wanted to end this game and not give the Rams the ball back. But play calling is a lot more different, and you can be a lot more conservative when you know you've only got a 1-point lead versus the 4-point lead that the Rams left the Seahawks with having. As much as I would like to say go for it, this is another situation where I have to say no, McVay. You were being greedy. You were being too aggressive. Even if you had gotten the touchdown, the first down and the touchdown, you're still only going to go up 3, 34-31 if you get the extra point, and you still got to play defense. I would have went ahead and took the points, been down a point, even if Seattle scores. Hurry up and let them score because you've got a chance to get the ball back, maybe, hopefully, and get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But if you hold them to a field goal, you still can win the game with a touchdown. Analytics, man, they got to stop it. These guys are playing and calling games like Madden. We've been saying that more and more now, and that's what they're doing. 4th and what? It's got to be like 4th and 8 before we know for sure the team is going to punt it. This is a point where I think they should have done that. And the Seahawks made a terrible mistake earlier in the game. I believe it was Tariq Woolen or somebody that got the unsportsmanlike penalty after like 4th and 12. It was 4th and 12. And they give them a 15-yard penalty, and the Rams get a first down. Immediately after that, Stafford, the gunslinger he is, hitting the corner of the end zone, touchdown. The Rams still didn't make them pay for that mistake. I mean, they did at that moment, but they were trying to eliminate an 11-point lead. Well, they cut it down from 11 to 4, and they had a chance after getting the stop to cut it from 4 to taking the lead, and he said, nah, I'm going for it. Shouldn't have done that. Then Seattle had opportunities to close the game out by just running the ball and killing the clock, and they threw the ball more than expected. Now, it didn't bite them in the ass because the Rams either didn't get a stop or they committed a penalty. And that is the deciding factor in this game. And again, the Seahawks were the better team. they were pretty much thumping them in the first half. And in the second half, the Rams started to thump their asses back. And that's why I was like, hey, the Rams aren't going away here now. We've got a game. But again, the Seahawks defense is good. The Rams offense is good. But at the end of the day, on the flip side, the Rams defense could not get off the field on third downs, third and longs too, for the most part. They would create some third and longs, and they just couldn't get off the field. And that is really the difference in between who won and lost that game. And that's why Seattle is going to the Super Bowl and the Rams are not. Either way it goes, for me as a Niner fan, if the NFC wins this Super Bowl, regardless, I told you, either McVay is going to have 2 Super Bowls or Mike McDonald was going to have a Super Bowl. And it would be his first, but it would be just his second season coaching. This would make Kyle Shanahan look pretty bad. So I'm kind of hoping they win. No shade to the Patriots. The Patriots will probably win this thing again. But the last time Seattle was in the Super Bowl, they lost to the Patriots in Super Bowl 49, and all they had to do was hand it off to Beast Mode, Mr. Marshawn Lynch, and they probably would have won that game. It wasn't in the cards for it to go their way, and they didn't win, but they have a chance to get their payback now. And I won't be surprised if they do it. I'm not picking this game. I know I've got 2 weeks to do so, but I ain't going to do it. Just like I didn't do it for Championship Sunday. I only told you who I would like to see in the Super Bowl, and I said Patriots and Rams. Reason being, the Broncos don't have their quarterback. I don't really want to see them in the Super Bowl. And then the Rams, I just think they're still a little bit more entertaining than the Seahawks. But after watching the Seahawks for the past 2 weeks, you know, I'm sure Seahawks fans would beg to differ. And hell, I kind of do too now, because they can put points up as well. And they let it be known today, hey, yeah, we're not playing the 49ers banged up defense, but we still have a good offense. They couldn't do nothing with JSN. And I'm starting to think, well, I know nobody can. And as good as those secondary players are and the DBs are in New England, Mike Vrabel and those guys are going to have their hands full against the Seahawks as far as trying to slow down JSN and Kenneth Walker out of the backfield. And not only that, on the flip side, as good as the Patriots offense is, they're going to have their hands tied as far as trying to move the ball down the field, move the chains and get points, touchdowns instead of field goals against the #1 defense in the NFL. That's the Seattle Seahawks. Now, they've already struggled against the Chargers and then the Texans and then the Broncos. But they beat all 3 teams, though, nonetheless. So it's not saying they can't beat Seattle. I'm just saying they're going to have their hands full. Okay, what's up to that guy on TikTok? Man, it must be a lot of my followers on TikTok with no power, and I hope that's not the case, but it's been dead all day on TikTok. I cannot believe this. I literally have like 3 people watching me. So this won't be long. I hope all is well. I hope you all are staying warm. And I hope you're nice and warm somewhere and you're not freezing and you're not going without food and power. I know there's some people that are. Somebody on YouTube already told me the same. I've been pretty blessed. Here in Memphis, surprisingly, no power has been out. It's 16 degrees outside right now and it's still a lot of snow out there. But the snow and the bad weather should be gone. It should be a sunny week starting tomorrow. And hopefully we can get this stuff to melt and we can get back to our regular day-to-day. I ain't been in the gym in like 4 days. So definitely would like to get back in there. Okay, are the Patriots back, ladies and gentlemen? Belichick and Brady did this for like 6 times and won. Oh, they did it like 9 times and they won 6 out of those 9. And for the first time that Drake, May, and Mike Vrabel have gotten together, they're in the Super Bowl already. Like, wow. You know, Brady and Belichick started quick, too. He got the start in 2001, and then boom, they went right on in and they won and upset the Rams. That's kind of what I was looking to see this year. You know, was it going to be that? But now they're playing the Seahawks. The Seahawks owe them one, and they have every ability to do so. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to read some comments. I don't know who wins that game, but congratulations again to the Patriots and the Seahawks and to the Broncos fans. Man, don't hold your head. You have no reason to. You lost your quarterback. Just like I said about my Niners last weekend, hey, we had injury after injury after injury. And even though that's the name of the game at some point, even though we kept winning games, weak schedule or not, We still kept persevering and finding a way. We showed resilience. But at the end of the day, we just knew that, hey, man, this magic may come to an end at some point, and it did eventually. When you run up against a good team like Seattle, that'll happen. You've got to have all your firepower, and even then, you still may not beat them. And the Rams pretty much had all their firepower today, and they still couldn't get the job done. So that says a lot about them. I said whoever wins the NFC championship game will win the Super Bowl. So I guess I've kind of already told you who will win. But I don't want to discredit the Patriots, and I don't want to just keep taking the shit on the AFC, because I always tell you all that I just don't think it's better than NFC football. But every time I brag on the NFC and say that, the NFC loses the Super Bowl. So I'm still not going to just say Seattle's winning. But I do think overall, they're more complete. They're better. And on the special team side, I mean, they're just good on all three cylinders. So again, let's put the Sam Darnold stuff to bed. The boy is bad. He did enough. He did what he had to do. Yeah, he did more than enough today. He got to a Super Bowl. I mean, he threw more yards on the Rams defense than he threw on the Niners. He didn't even throw 200 yards on us last week, even though they kicked our ass. But he threw well over 300 today, and he threw 3 touchdowns. What else is there to say? Rashid Shaheed was a great pickup in the trade deadline from New Orleans. I said when I reported that trade on the trade deadline, it was a busy day. I was live for like 3 hours straight, on and off. And I said, that's going to be a dangerous pick. I didn't know if it would take them this far, but it did. Okay, let's get it cracking. Now I'm going to read some comments, and I guess I can wrap this up. I said this wouldn't take long because, well, there's only a few games to talk about. All right, let's see what we got here. We couldn't stop nothing. Los Torres, we couldn't stop nothing. Not even a nosebleed. Dan, the breaking news man. I like that. He says, thank you for your prediction. I'm in Seattle, Washington. Oh, man, what's up? Shout out to you, Seattle. And thank you, Dan, for not just trolling me and making fun of whooping my team's ass last week. I appreciate that. Look, congrats, and go win the Super Bowl, man. Why not? Hell, we're not going to do it. We're going to have Sam seeing ghosts again. There's Jofi Joe, the Patriots fan. How you doing, brother? Hey, man, I'm going to tell you the same thing I just told Dan. Not playing both sides, but I just ain't no hater. Congrats on advancing to the Super Bowl, and good luck to you in 2 weeks. Go win the Super Bowl, brother. Why not? My team ain't going to do it, so I have no dog in this fight. We beat 3 top 5 defenses en route to the Super Bowl. That's what I was saying, Jofi Joe. I don't know how long you've been here, but I just said that. Even though Drake May has kind of struggled and he ain't looked that good like he did in the regular season, these were top 5 defenses. Chargers, Texans, Broncos. But, you know, just still, I got to say, they didn't get an offensive touchdown, though, Jofi Joe, whether you want to admit that or not. If it wasn't for the turnover that they got, which really shouldn't have been a turnover because that was intentional grounding. That wasn't a fumble. He's throwing the ball. He just didn't, you know, throw it past the line of scrimmage. He didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage, and he was kind of out of the tackle box, but it didn't go to the line of scrimmage. That was intentional grounding, and they called that. And then they changed it and said turnover. That's the only touchdown you all got. The Broncos defense is good. And what's crazy about it is Seahawks defense is even better because it's number 1 as far as scoring defense goes. So I don't know if it can get any worse than it did today as far as defenses that you all have saw, but you still got to see Seattle. And it could be damn near like a home game for the Seahawks because they're in the Pacific Northwest and they ain't got far to travel to Levi Stadium in San Francisco. Hell, some of those people probably have a vacation home in San Francisco. It's just not far away. I don't know. We'll see if the Patriot fans spend their money and show up. But I'm going to say good luck again to the Patriot fans and to the Seahawks fans. Let's see here. Los Toro says Seahawks should have won by more than 10 points. That's facts. They should have. And again, that big 4th and 12 play where they're about to punt and then they get the unsportsmanlike, that really what kept that game close. And I almost thought it was going to really, really, really hurt you, like to lose the game, because I'm like, you can't give Stafford too many chances now. And immediately after that, he threw a touchdown to Puka Nacua, and then they got a stop, and then they got the ball back again, and they went 90 yards damn near from the 10-yard line until Sean McVay got greedy and went for that 4th and 4, just like Ben Johnson did. Take the points, make it 31-30. We'd probably be talking about the Patriots against the Rams instead. That's not a good call by Sean McVay. Do we think Stafford just blew MVP from that? Says Justin. I ain't going to say he blew it, but he hurt his chances a little bit. But most of this wasn't his fault. I mean, the defense for the Rams could not get off the field on 3rd down. And Stafford had nothing to do with that. Jesus says, go Hawks. Congratulations, Hawks fans. All of you. Andreas, thank you for joining me here on TikTok. What else did I miss here? Fat Man. Little World says Seattle got that defense. They certainly do. Jofi Joe says, as I predicted, Patriots to the bowl. Hey, man, he has been saying that all season long. And I never doubted him for one moment, but I didn't know he was actually going to be right. I will admit that. Jofi Joe, you have been saying it all season long. Congrats to you, man. I'm happy for you. Seahawks winning it the way they did us. Oh, gotcha, Fat Man, Little World. Are you a 49er fan? Usually when teams beat us, they do go all the way and win the whole thing. Is that going to happen with Seattle? I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to underestimate the Patriots defense now. They got a defense, and it's better than the Rams defense. So Sam Darnold, he's still going to have, some problems. But again, he's been answering every critic. He's, shutting all of that out, and he's doing his thing. I don't care who wins, y'all. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to see a good Super Bowl 60. Because last year's Super Bowl, that game was over with after the first 2 possessions. The Eagles stomped the Chiefs, and it wasn't a game. Where it looked like it was going to be a good Super Bowl, it went left completely. Just like that, real fast and in a hurry. When Seattle wins a Super Bowl, they do that too. Remember what they did to Denver in Super Bowl 48. So hopefully this game is more like Super Bowl 49, a close one. Well, the Patriots and Seahawks went all the way down to the last minute, and then we know what happened when they didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Yes, he is a 49ers fan. He said 49ers, baby. Shout out to Fat Man, Little World. And shout out to Los Torres Hawks and Hawk fan for Life 88. But Gunslinger Sam showed up. He did. No doubt about it. Sure picked up a heck of a time for the defense to play terrible. Well, I wouldn't say they played terrible, but the Rams are good now. They're good. Sean McVay is good. They're as good as it gets. If y'all got one weakness, Hawk fan, for Life 88, is that sometimes your secondary can give up a play or two here or there. But again, that's Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and a bunch of good tight ends that are really underrated. So, I wouldn't, really dwell on that too much. Now the Patriots, they've got Diggs and Butte and those guys, but I still think the Seahawks saw the most talent that they'll see the rest of the way. That's no shade to the Patriots offense because it's good. And they played some good defenses here lately. So that's why they hadn't really been cooking like they were cooking in November and December. Boy, was they cooking. They playing some good defenses. With all that being said, they still find ways to beat them, as Jofi Joe was saying. So we're going to see how it goes, man. We're going to see how it goes. I got plenty more time to break this Super Bowl game down as to what could happen, who I think will have the advantage, who I think is going to have the bigger game, who's going to make more impact and all of that. I've got 2 weeks to do it, so we'll come back and we'll do that. Damn. Sorry to hear that, Jarchocho. He said, hi, I'm a depressed Broncos fan here. I'm sorry for you, brother, but as I was saying a few minutes ago, hey, hold your head. You ain't got nothing to really feel bad about. The Denver Broncos had an incredible season, and they only came up short probably because they lost their starting QB last week. You are being biased because you like the 49ers, says Max Ray. How am I being biased? I didn't pick who's winning. I don't care who wins. I just said I think an NFC team will win. Yes, I'm an NFC guy, but I think the NFC's been better all year round. I just do. The Patriots, they're good, and I'm not underestimating them. And they can win this Super Bowl. But, man, you've seen the Seahawks defense this year, and especially the past month. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. King Mikey said, not going to lie, I feel like if Bo Nix didn't get hurt, that game would have been a lot different. And you're probably right, too, King Mikey, because, I mean, they lost 10-7, and damn, the only touchdown New England got offensively, like I said, it really shouldn't have been a turnover. So I would have to probably go with Mikey there, not to piss off any Patriot fans. A win is a win, and you're in now. Now go win the Super Bowl, but gotta, call a ball, and a strike a strike. The Rams know how to get their receivers open. They sure do. That's the McVay offense. He learned from Kyle Shanahan and others. So, yes, they do. They do. So are you saying that you think it's going to be harder for the Patriots to do that? I'm just asking. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking. Okay. Cap, Noosa75 says Niners. And they're a Niners fan, too. Since Montana, man. Same here. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, Cap. Thank you for joining me. Massive news for the unemployed. Josh Allen was traded for Ben Simmons for 2 first-round draft picks. Stop it. He's being funny there. Nico Harrison won. Josh Allen for Ben Simmons. All right. What's up, Dahib? How you doing? Thank you for joining the Great Debate Show. You're very, very funny. All right. Justin said, been that way the whole playoffs. Justin said, my concern is May doesn't lose the nerves until the third quarter. You got a point there. Well, he's going to have to lose them a lot quicker against Seattle. They found a way to beat these defenses, though, man. Chargers, Texans, Broncos. But I just got to keep reminding you all, the only offensive touchdown New England got today was pretty much given to them. That was not a turnover. It was an intentional grounding, and they called intentional grounding. And then they turned it around and changed the call and said, Patriots football. A few plays later, Drake May ran it in the end zone. That's their only touchdown. Broncos missed a few field goals, too, but the weather got bad. And, if the Broncos had their quarterback and their weather didn't get as bad as it got in the second half, it'd probably be Seahawks-Broncos right about now. I'm just calling the facts. That's what I saw. I'm sorry. The Patriots did not do much. What do you think they're going to do against Seattle? Or do you think Denver's defense is better than Seattle's? I don't know. They're all good, though. And the Patriots have had to see it all. But as Jofi Joe was saying, they still overcame it all and they won. All right. Is this it for Stafford? Let's hope not. Well, I'm a 49er fan. I hope it is. But I was kind of rooting for Stafford, though, believe it or not. Because they just more entertaining, and I'm a Sean McVay guy. People always ask me, who would you replace Shanahan with? McVay? But he's not available. But I would trade for him. Well, what would we have to give the Rams? I don't know. Whatever you want. I think he's a much better coach. And I was hoping that he got his second Super Bowl so I could really talk shit about Kyle Shanahan. But hey, if Mike McDonald wins, then I can still talk shit. Because how crazy would it be for a second-year coach to get a Super Bowl just like that? That would be Mike McDonald if Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And Kyle has been at it for 9 years, going into year 10, and he hadn't won yet. Okay. All right. Thank NC20. Thank you for joining me. Ken, Justin, thank y'all for joining me here, and Jesus on TikTok. I encourage you all to share this live stream and invite more friends to the show. That's all I got, man. Tom pretends. It says he's a Pats fan. The Patriot fans are coming out. Congrats. Eddie Paulson says, Yahoo, Pats are back. They are definitely back. Man, I know it feels good to be in the Super Bowl, man. I know the feeling. You get 2 weeks to enjoy, make accommodations, you know what I'm saying? Hotel accommodations, flights and everything, booking your flight if you're going. And I missed that. I liked it. I just did it a few years ago. going to Las Vegas. Of course, it wasn't a good trip coming back, but you don't know what is going to happen before you get there. So when you're making those arrangements and try to get there to the Super Bowl, whether you're going to the actual game or you're just going to be around the city for all the festivities, it's really good to just know that, yeah, my team is in the Super Bowl. And right now, at that point, for the next 2 weeks, nobody's a loser. Both of you are winners, and anybody can win. So enjoy this moment. It won't be the same for both of your fan bases when this game is all said and done, but at the same time, only one team can win, you know? I just wish my team would do it one day soon. I'm happy for you all. I really am. No hate here. Nothing but love. I will continue to break this game down again as we get closer and closer to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Well, that's about it for me. If the Seahawks pass the ball on the 2, this NFL is scripted. Hey, somebody sounding like me now. Yeah. And maybe they get their payback, though, this time. Maybe it's scripted for that to happen. Who knows? But yeah, we all know that wasn't supposed to go down like that. I mean, it was supposed to go down like that, but that's not how you call a game when you're trying to win the Super Bowl. Good comment, the man of the hour. Either a year 1 coach wins or a year 2 coach wins. You're right. That don't look good for Kyle Shanahan. That's right. I forgot Vrabel is his first year coaching with the Patriots. He's not a first year coach, but it's his first Super Bowl, and he only coached the Titans for maybe like 4 years, 3 or 4 seasons, and he was out. So yeah, I always said Vrabel was gonna be that guy. I was just hoping that it would be with the Titans because my brother's a diehard Titans fan. So for his sake, I was hoping that I got it right. I still got it right, but wrong team. Anyway, good comment, Hawks. Los Torres Hawk, you're right. Either way it goes, whoever wins, I can talk shit about Kyle. I love it. There's some good content up on the YouTube channel right now. I dropped an episode this morning recapping WWE Saturday night's main event. And there's also another episode from Thursday where I talk about the future of the WWE in 2026 and what to come. And also, there's more content up about the 49ers, what the 49ers need to do. I'll have more of that too. As we're getting close to the off season now, I can talk more about just the 49ers and just this team or that team or this particular athlete. There's going to be a lot of more great debates coming. It's not going to slow down, even though the football season is coming to an end. All right, so again, congratulations to the Patriots and the Seahawks. Super Bowl, who is going to be? New England, Seattle, rematch of Super Bowl 49. And what a coincidence, it's in the 49ers stadium. You talk about a script, huh? The man of the hour. That's one if I've ever heard one. I don't go to California not giving that state my cheddar. I don't blame you, Tom. I don't blame you. And it's going to be a lot of cheddar in order to get out there for this one. It just goes up every year, doesn't it? Niners are in the cusp of making it back, says Ken. I hope you're right, brother. That's all I can say. Niners need to bolster the D and they'll be fine. Yeah, well, who's going to do that? I know you don't think it's our general manager, do you? I can only hope so, though. All right, y'all. I will be discussing more 49er talk later in the week, or maybe even next week as well, as far as to why it's time to move on from John and Kyle. And since we're not, I'll break down to you the 5 things that they need to do in this offseason to do exactly what Ken just said. And let's get back to a Super Bowl. I don't care about getting back to the Super Bowl. I just want to get there and win it. I've been to enough Super Bowls. 3 in the past 12, 13 years. And we've lost all 3. All right. That's it for me. Y'all be safe. Have a good Sunday evening. I'll be back. Follow the Great Debate Show on all social media platforms because you never know when your favorite unk might pop back up. So hit that notification bell and subscribe and follow on YouTube. Until then, y'all be safe. And I hope y'all get y'all power back for those who are out of it. Be safe and see you soon. Peace. Hey, Jason. Hey, Billy. Thank you. Thank you, Los Torres Hawks. Thank you.